Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name's Sugi Yamagawa, and today on VTubing My Slow Life Hobbies in My 30s, we're going to be working on turning these two pieces of wood into a shelf. Actually, I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger here. Now, I also have some tea getting boiled right now, so I'm probably going to get distracted by that at some point. But, yeah. So, I've got myself here two pieces of sassafras lumber. These are actually, well, this is actually my last 8-inch across piece, but I've still got two more of these, like 6-inch pieces here. So our first mission, as you can kind of see here, and I want to make sure I don't hit the camera, is we've got a lot of lumber here, and it's awkward to swing it around. Now, I do think we've got quite a bit of a turny turn in this guy right here, but that's fine. I actually want to take advantage of some of that live edge further down there. So first things first, we're going to work with this guy. So you're going to get parked back like that. So for this first guy, we've got some rot, some chipping, some splitting on this guy. So I want to cut that out. That's going to be mission 1, is getting that cut out. One of these days, I'm going to do something about that power cord on the floor. Honestly, I should just plug it into a different outlet. That's what I should do. That's the actual solution. That's the actual solution. So, I'm going to take this guy. It's a very heavy boy, because length, and I also don't have a whole lot of support. Do I want to do this with this? We can be a little teeter-totty. We can be a little bit on the teeter-totty side of things. Ooh, is my tea nearly done? Tea is nearly done. Well, water's done. Oh yeah. I hope all you people out there are staying safe with this. Well, in the eastern U.S. right now, there's a lot of storm going on, and I was supposed to get a lot of snow. I did not get a lot of snow. So far, we're doing all right. So hopefully we don't lose power midway through stream or something. So my first mission here is I got to set my depth to cut through my board. So this material is... We'll set it for 1.5 inches because this is 5/4 material. There we go. And I'll probably explain that once we actually get to the point where I got an offcut. So for this offcut, all I gotta do is eyeball it. So I'm just gonna go ham. Ah, sweet, sweet sassafras smells. And that has lightened that up so much that it really wants to tip off on me. Sure. Let me just finagle my tools where I want them. Because now, granted, my cutoff came in 2 pieces. So originally it was something like this, but it was very weak with that, with all the splits. So really glad I got this taken care of. Also, these are going to be very useful scraps, because when we actually get into the later part of today, and we actually get into using the hand planes a little bit, I'm going to want some scraps to just test my hand planes on before I actually start having some real fun with them. So these are going to be useful for that. So I mentioned that I was going to explain quarters. So this is 5/4 material. So this is 1 inch 1/4. Hardwood lumber here in the US is sold by quarters. So a 1 inch thick board will be a 4/4 board. This is This is a little bit thicker than that. It's 1.25 inches, so it's called 5/4. If you want a 2-inch board, you will ask for 8/4. But weird things we do here because, well, I guess we're just weird here. So I need to figure out my handy dandy length here. So my shelf is going to be approximately. Did I just bury my pencil? No, I didn't. Okay, so the space, the cove that I'm going to be sticking this shelf in is 5 feet and 3/4. But I was like giving myself a little bit of room to play with on my ends in case I bang them up. So I'm going to make my mark at 62 inches. So that's where my mark's going to be. Grab the speed square, come on over, get up on my mark. And then just complete it on the other side. There we go. Got a mark straight through the board. Now, I get to figure out what's the best way to cut this, and the best way to cut it is, admittedly, flipping the board without hitting anything, which is the exciting part. But we cut a couple inches off, so that makes my life a little bit easier on board flipping. Woo! Had a couple close calls there. Okay. Start harder. Can I? Now my big thing is I don't want. So my offcut side, I don't want any pressure whatsoever. Right now it's leaning on my workbench. So I'm going to use that scrap I cut off from earlier. I'm going to set it underneath my piece. Now, my offcut, which, let's bring you guys over here. This part, off my line, it's off my bench. So when I make my cut, it falls. You don't want this to be leaning on something. Like if I take my spacer out and it's now leaning on my bench when I try to cut, this could fall and pinch the circular saw blade. Don't want that. Because when your circular saw blade gets pinched, that's how you end up with a kickback event. That's actually what kickback is when the wood gets stuck on the blade and the blade can't move anymore. So the tool moves. So it's called kickback. Okay, so we're all marked. We're looking pretty good. And kind of just get where I want to be. And let's make a cut. There we go. That is one piece of wood fully dimensioned. And we also have a really nice sized offcut, which honestly this would be a real nice piece of lumber for a smaller project. So that's gonna get set there. And we're gonna take our finished board. It's actually a nice little bit of board. Oh, holy smokes, what have I done? I haven't poured my water for my tea. Can you stay? Can you stay? Can you stay? You're gonna eventually stay. I gotta fix that. I gotta fix this. I have my tea, man. Granted, I gotta say, with just making 2 cuts so far, I've already got really nice root beer smells in the shop. And I love the root beer smells. Mr. Spock, welcome in. Fascinating. What's going on? We're cutting sassafras lumber. Is what we got going on now. Ooh, wait, no. Let's flip this guy around. And then we're gonna eventually work on getting this lumber where I want. Ooh, man. throwing around 8-foot boards in a shop, especially a shop as crowded as mine, just hit so many things. So many terrible things. So, I'm actually wanting to use this piece here for the front, the part you're going to see, because I have a nice like little bit of the live edge, and I just think that's neat. And also, there's no like loose bark here, so I don't think I'm going to have to worry about bark flaking off. So this is going to be one part. We've got one board cut, and then we get to play. Well, I'm going to attempt to play with hand planes for that. But for this part, oh, we're being really teeter-tottery today. So I'm going to get my length marked. Actually, I should be a bit generous. Let's be a bit more generous, because with that first board I worked with, my 8-inch board, I had measure once, cut twice. Well, funny thing is, we're gonna actually be doing 2 cuts on this guy. The first cut's gonna be on this side of the world, and then we're gonna make a cut off the end. Granted, I don't know if I'm gonna do that cut now or later. So let's see here. Okay. So my board is floating above my shelf. Well, my work table, which is good. That's what I want, because I don't want it moving on me. So this board is a lot lighter because it's only 6 inches tall. So I'm going to take my handy dandy clamp. I was really debating whether or not I wanted to use the clamp as a stop, or yeah, we're gonna go with a stop. We're gonna go with the stop route. So we're gonna use the clamp as a stop. So I can put pressure here, and it's not gonna wiggle as much. And that's what I don't want. Don't want my board to do any unnecessary wiggling. Unnecessary wiggling is undesirable. Sure. Woo, Mikita-kun! Love my Mikita-kun. And we also now have a small offcut piece. And a dimension piece. And with just 3 cuts with the circular saw, I am reminded that I probably should have set up my dust collection. Well, set up an air filter. So, right now, I am sliding the board on my table saw. I'm seeing if it has any wobbles or ridges or any of those undesirable characteristics, but actually it looks seems pretty straight to me, using the reference of the table saw top. So that's really good. But we're gonna go next level. We're gonna go to a higher level. Literally. So I don't have actual like long straight edges, so I'm going to be using my big level here. So what I'm doing with my level here, I'm going to have it at one end of the board, and I'm going to look and see if I've got any light coming out between the level and the board. So say if this board was cupped in the center, well, if I had my level referencing far sides, I would have a little bit of light there. Or if it was bowed the other way, okay. So let's check that. Okay. So I do have a little bit of a turn. I'm a little bit low on this far side. So when I go to do my planing, I'm going to want to take more off this area. Yeah. I'm going to want to take a little bit more off this area, and then this area is going to be low. So with that investigation concluded, I'm going to write L. And then let's get our level over here, and I want to see how far that goes. So it goes, it's worse to about here. So we'll slide our level back, then there we go. So let me show you guys what I've done here. So I put an L for low, and I've made a series of marks where it's particularly low. So I'm gonna plane this edge a whole bunch of times, get all this side of the world nice and smooth. Then I'm gonna come all the way across and down through, and then that hopefully we will reduce the width of the board in this dimension, and that should give us a really straight edge here. So that is that side of the world, which is really important that we get straight, because that part of the world is going to get glued to our other workpiece. Now I'm just going to take a look at this guy from this perspective, just to see if there's anything weird going on. Maybe a little bit bowed towards the center. Yeah. But the fun part of this side is going to be the part like outward facing. So it is really important to get nice, smooth angles and what have you for the side that's going to, for this back side that's going to get glued to the other board, because I don't want to have any gaps, because that's just going to look bad. To make it look like I don't know what I'm doing, which I am not the most confident I'm not the most confident woodworker, but you know what? I do give it the good old college try. Okay, so I need the small bench to go back under there for now. I need that clamp. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start playing with this board. It's sitting on the table saw. Oh, it's 420 time. Well, you enjoy your 420, Mr. Spock. I have tea. I have my tea. Okay. So I want to get a lot of clampable surface here. So actually, I'm going to move you guys back. You can live with it. You can live with that, I'm sure. And I'm going to try and turn this thing around. My shop just feels like it gets smaller. Granted, it pretty much does get smaller and smaller with every project. Okay. Now, I get to do a very, very tricky thing. So, one of my goals for this project is I want to build out my skill set. And an aspect of building out my skill set is using hand planes. I'm going to have to eventually move that, but I just need you to not wiggle while I'm catching my board. This is of the utmost importance. Let's see. Let's open this up. Come in. Ooh. Will I be able to get clamp on that? Oh yeah. Woo! That got scary. I was a little concerned I wouldn't get clamps on this. Which, that put a massive damper on my plants. Ooh, birds. Birds. I gotta say, like, the birds have been, like, really on the bird feeder this morning. And also squirrels. Well, one squirrel. And I think I took care of him because I used a T-post to kind of set it up a little bit higher, and I think the squirrel's given up at this point. And I now just have birds on the bird feeder. Okay, so with that, just give it a few extra turns. So, and we wiggles. Okay, now I can also adjust the camera. Let's see. Yeah, camera adjusting is probably going to be the easier adjusting. But I do want to give myself a little bit of room. Sure, let's move you guys back. And so, how I'm going to work this? Actually, do I want to use smoother? And let's go for big boy. Big boy's going to have more mass. He's going to help me out a lot more. Now, if I wanted to be real finicky, I could test this out. Let's see, I feel like I'm taking a little bit more off the far side, so I'll just the lateral adjustment. Okay. So what I want to do here on this edge, honestly, just want to make it look pretty. I don't have to worry about making it flat. I don't have to worry about making it perfect. I just have to make it look pretty. So let's just make it look pretty. Woo! Wispy shavings. Almost want to take a bit more of a bite there. Can I get a bit more of a bite going? Let's see, let's adjust you. And this is an aspect of hand planing that I'm admittedly fairly amateurish at, but we're also doing this on sassafras. And the nice thing about sassafras is a very workable hardwood. It's not super hard. So there we go. Woo! There we go. Okay. That feels pretty dang good. I like that. It also looks great. So, just keep going down the board. Just keep going down the board. Oh, clamp wasn't tight enough. There we go. And ooh, that was a whoopsie. Almost a whoopsie. Okay, now we go from this side. So earlier, both my ends were a little bit high. That's why I did very little planing in the center of my board. But on these edges, I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive to try and just get this a hair bit flatter. Ooh. There we go. That looks wonderful. Really wonderful. Nice shavings, too. Man, it feels like I'm actually becoming a better woodworker slowly but surely. I'll get there. Like all things, it's just a process. It takes time. It's all good. Okay. So, I'll loosen up one clamp. Kind of open you up a little bit, too. Hello, bird. How are you? Any other cool birds? Earlier there was a woodpecker on my bird feeder, which really surprised me. I actually want to just give that a little bit of a look-see. I think I got a little bit of... I still think I got a little bit of a bow in it, but that's fine. Okay, so my low end is going to be towards the left side of the screen. You can see my lines there. So we're going to have this portion close to me. My knee's not far enough away from my support, and that's on me. Easy fix. And then once you kind of get it clamped a little bit, it's not too big of a deal to get it rest of the way there. And there we go. Woo! So we got a lot more scale to our project because we got to go from here all the way down to our lines. We got to take care of all this. Got to drop this a little bit because we're low. We're really low down there. So we got a fair bit of work to do. So let's get to it. Oh, shavings are too long. Man, love working with sassafras. Absolutely love this stuff. So workable. So workable. Such a wonderful material. Okay, so I feel like I was reasonably aggressive in this area of the world. However, though, I was neglecting this area of the world. So let's take care of what's been neglected. Oh. Hey, don't move that. Okay. So, overall, the edge is feeling really... For urban chicken coop. Oh, man. Mr. Spock really is trying to sell me on that urban chicken coop. So, get the level out. Make sure I'm looking good. So, I'm looking really good. Granted, also the best thing about these shavings is they smell amazing. I love the smell of sassafras. Absolutely love the material. But, I've got an issue. My edge still needs to come down more, so I've got a lot more planing on this bad boy to do before I can really go out to that edge. But we're moving in the right direction. Moving in the right direction. I think we got... Might be a... I think I'm a hair bit cockeyed on my plane iron. I think the edge that's away from me, this edge here, is a little bit low, whereas the edge towards me is a little bit high. So the edge towards me is high. We'll try that out. Okay. 2 layers are easy to keep and fresh eggs. Oh no! Really selling me on it, buddy. Being a little... Okay, let's do a couple passes here. Whew! Being a little bit too much like a workout. Let's check. Okay, so I got a little bit of... Yeah! That board moving doesn't help me out. But, okay. So, we're really close to being where we need to be. All the way from here. And it looks like I'm a little bit high. I got a hump. Right here. Got a hump right where my hand plane is. So let's take care of that little hump. Because looks like I got a little bit of something here. See how that looks. Looks like they go that way with it. Damn. Interesting. Wait a second. So, I guess I'm high on this end. The pipes in the bathroom were frozen this morning. This got them unfrozen. Ooh, jeepers creepers. Yeah, it's far too cold out in the world right now. It's far too cold out in the world right now. Okay, I think I'm pretty close. I'm gonna be taking some stuff off from this side of the world, and then I'll come in from the other side of the world, and I'll try to take care of that stuff. And one more. Then, let's see here. I want to move to the other side of the world. I can't walk in front of the camera. Let's see. Reasonably sturdy, strong, supported. Okay. Woo! So we got that nice and smooth. Now, let's take a look at our edge. Sorry guys, gotta move you. Interesting. So, got a high spot here, it looks like. Does that continue through? Because honestly, where that level is right now, it's great. So, since it seems like it's just my edge, I'm just gonna call it good. I'm gonna call it good. Ooh. Well, that's actually fun. Don't have long enough arms. Got pretty long arms for a guy of my height, but I need more arm, man. Man, it looks like I had a mark on it. but I don't see my mark. So that's good. That's probably going to be good enough. So that is the edges on that guy. Woo! The way to heat in the north is geothermal heat. It's expensive to install, but well worth it in the long term. Yeah, geothermal is good stuff. It's definitely a lot more affordable than oil heat. Because one of the big issues with oil heat is basically diesel fuel that you burn to heat your home. And in case you haven't checked the price of diesel, diesel's kind of expensive. Even though fuel diesel for like a fuel oil furnace, that you don't have to pay road taxes on it. So you save a little bit of money there, but still a very expensive way to heat a home. Granted, the heat you get off oil furnaces like unreal. Yeah, if I've used diesel to heat, yeah, probably paid an arm and a leg to do it that way too. Okay, so that end's cut, but that end's kind of looking a little rough. I'm just gonna go around you guys. Woo! Pin you up. And then we're gonna go really hard on this guy, on this clamp. So I don't want this guy moving. Okay, now that we're clamped in, time for an evaluation. Hey, drill press, I love you, but you're a little too close to me, man. Okay. So I have a hump basically where the hand plane is. Okay, so I've got a hump at the hand plane. What am I looking like out here on that side of the world? Low. But also kind of high here. Okay. So, what we're gonna do, we're gonna do our marks like we did before. So I want to worry too about there. And sorry I can't like show you the whole board. It's just, this is 5 foot of board, man. This is a lot. This is wood. This is a fair amount of lumber here. And it's also just real hard to just showcase everything. Okay. So I kind of have a bit of a hump here. So this is going to be my... They have a furnace oil pump at the gas station up the road. Better price than diesel. I don't use it though. Get oil delivered once a year. Ooh, that's an expensive bill to pay. So I'm going to do a couple of passes right here. Kind of lower that, and then I'm going to start working my way down the board. Woo! Why is that edge not getting taken care of? Because my plane's out of level. That's why. So I'm not taking anything from that side. So I have Just slightly skew that. Yeah, one of the issues I have with my hand plane here is the handle to hand ratios. I'm a little bit I've got a bit of a disadvantage there. But when I'm working, it's really easy for my fingers to knock that lateral adjustment lever, and it's been knocking me out of alignment. But we'll get it fixed and keep going. One more. To the other side of the world. To the other side of the world. Actually, there's better ways. I'm going to get good at manipulating you guys at some point. Granted, that's actually a really good thing about the stream is we're going to get better. I'm going to get better at throwing you guys around the shop. Ooh. That sunk down on me. It only cost me $600 for oil this winter, plus a $400 government oil rebate. Ah, okay. Guess that's not too bad. I'm getting a lot of crud out of this last little bit here. So, we'll see. That's where I'm getting all this, like, confetti, burnt confetti. No birds. Okay. I think that's feels real good. That end is definitely a pain in the butt. Feels like a little bit high towards me. Is it though? It is. My plane iron's a little bit still a little misadjusted. Not taking as much off the. So if I'm centered, I'm not taking enough off this edge of the board here. What I need to do is I can just off-center it a little bit and hopefully and see how I'm getting really thin shavings here off some of those passes. That's a good sign that I'm just taking off the little bit of extra height I have on this side. And then as I go down, I should be able. Do you have any improvisational saxophone jazz music? No, but that stuff sounds good. Oh, man. Let's take a look. See what we've done. It's better. I still notice it though. Let's see. Can I take? Just do 2 passes. See what those 2 passes do for me. It keeps getting better. It's not perfect, but it keeps getting closer to better. So, think we're going to go ahead and play with this guy a little bit, because, whew, starting to get a little tuckered out here, man. Okay. So I look pretty good for most of this. That has saxophone, but not improvisational. Ah. Okay. I don't know if I... Oh, wait. The snow's actually picked up coming down. Neat. I actually really don't know about the full suite of music, because the circle I use for the BGM right now, they only released 2 albums, and I only have one of those 2 albums, and that's the album that's playing. Random. They're really skilled at it too. Man, I gotta say, like, I am really good on this piece of lumber right here, except for this last little. I reckon how much? 8-10 inches from here on out. Now my board is a little bit long. Well, long in this dimension. So I can make a point to cut that end off. So I wonder what I want to do here. Because option 1, tool's a good band. Okay. I want tea, but my tea's over there. Come here, tea. Hello, tea. It's good stuff. Good green tea, too. So, I think what I'll do here is I'll take a couple more passes, focusing in from the far side of the world to right around here, actually about where I've got my clamp set. And that will be that edge taken care of for the most part. That seems reasonable. Okay. About one more. Real nice curls. So many curls, man. I feel a little bit ashamed because I just keep stepping on these guys. You're relaxing and watching some woodwork with Toho Jazz in the background. Oh, thank you, thank you. I love my Toho Jazz. Goodness gracious. I gotta get around here. But yeah. Welcome in, Akira Oribachet BT. We like making sawdust. We like Toho Jazz around here. I'm just trying to kick some of these shavings because those shavings are going to be really good for starting fires later. So, have a pretty good edge here. Pretty confident with it. So, let's see. What gets you guys a good view and gets me access to my clamps. Watch out. What am I? I'm stepping on something down there. I don't know what that is. Go. Okay, stop sliding. That's what the knee's for. Okay. Let's see. Let's try to get a pretty equal amount of wood on either side. go. Now, can I do the other side? That's a bit of a reach. I have to put a webcam in my face, but... There we go. There we go! Yay! It's on there. So, Jeepers creepers. I'm doing too much work, man. I started off stream cold and now I'm warmed up. Okay. So, I want to look here. Ooh. This is certainly a lot more exciting of a board. It's a lot more exciting of a board. Okay. So, this board is cupped here in the center. So I'm going to have to be doing a lot of my hand planing at the edges where I start out. Sure. I think we're going to assault this edge first. Do I have enough room? Could use a little bit more, but it'll work. Ooh. My setup on my plane's getting out of whack. Let's try that. Okay. Feels better. How big is the shelf going to be? The shelf is going to be in this dimension a hair bit more than 5 feet. It's going to be like 5 feet and a half inch. And then I'm going to be using 2 of these boards. This board here is going to end up being a little bit less than almost beer time. So I got like a roughly 8-ish inch piece of wood here. And then I have, it's going to be a bit less than 6 there. So the shelf's width is going to be like 14 inches. So, well, a bit less than 14, but that's plenty big enough for holding board games. So, and technically speaking, this is actually a lot of, like, this is actually really good thickness for like bookshelves. So using it in a board game shelf application, definitely being a little bit overkill here, but that's fine. That is fine. Let's take a look. How's my... Oh, wow. It is literally just this little bit. Just this little bit. Needs to come down. So since it's just this little bit, I'm going to come in from the side. Woo-hoo! Probably should not have said that there. I have to build a motorcycle workshop out of pallets this spring. Yeah, good luck with that project. That sounds like fun. But you gotta have a place to work on the motorcycles, man. Ooh. I like. It's a lot better. Ah, okay. I actually kind of see what I got going on here, too. Okay. So I took... Really need to work. I have a really hump spot right here in between my fingers. So I think I'm going to do a pass to there, and then I'll just do a couple long passes. And that should get me really dang close. Whoa. Need a wider stance. There we go. Take a look. Trying to find a crappy trailer for free. Oh, the struggle. Life's greatest struggle. Finding cheap trailers. Let's... Granted, I almost think my level is not level. Almost. Yeah. Okay. That's really darn close. Okay, I don't want to take any more. That would speed things up. Yeah, I'm sure it would. So, I'm feeling pretty comfortable with the work I did here. So I'm going to start moving on down this way. And my goal going down this way is I'm wanting to take the rough surface of the board and turn it into a smooth surface. So, put a lever or something that's guaranteed to level test it. Yeah. Granted, I also have like other straight edges. It's just I don't have it. I actually just don't have a straight edge that's technically as long as this level. Shucks, this level's like multiples of my square here. Great. As I got the square out. Not too bad. Okay. Wait, is that light? Yeah, a little bit. Okay. We got a low spot there, high spot there. And then going down this way. Pretty good going that way, but so according to this guy, got a slight high spot in here. But this is also a board game shelf, so I'm not super worried about getting things perfect. Perfect is the enemy of done. So, let's go to this side of the world and take care of this. Okay. Feels good. But let's see how well it levels. Oh yeah, it's high. It's really high. And it's like, just like the little bit here. Like that much. And remember, check often. Checking often gives you a chance to get breaks. And it also warns you before you go too far. Okay, so I need to bring it out a little bit more. And take a little bit more off in this area here. But if I do that, I should get pretty darn close. And check. Wow. Still high. Still too high. But that's fine. I mean, I've got plenty of board to take material off of. Okay. Getting better. I have to wrap a seedling heating pad around the brewing bucket. I'm going to run a tester with water to see if I can maintain a constant temperature for brewing. Ooh, nice. Very nice. Hope that works out for you, Mr. Spock. Probably be doing them like this. Okay. How are we measuring up? It's slow progress, but it's going in the right direction. It's just I'm like really. How straight is that? Actually, that's interesting. Ah, I get it. Okay. I see. Which is funny, I actually got a little bit of unevenness with my board here. So... ooh, jeepers creepers. What can I do? Because what I want to do is... okay. I think that's pretty close to what I want. Because I've got a slight tilt out going this way. I want to fix that. So... ooh, that felt good. How did those couple passes turn out? Ooh! That looks a lot better. Still a little high on this side, but a lot better. Oh, that just feels better. Don't get a splinter. Okay. Oh, that looks amazing. Oh boy. Jeepers creepers. Wow. I still got a hair bit of light in it, but that's just so much better than where it was. That was so much better. Oh gosh. Oh jeepers. Also, I don't want to crush my curls. So, one moment. Gotta do some shop sweeping. Look at all that sassafras. Just all sorts of sassafras. Man. Whew. Man. So, I think I'm going to do a couple passes on working this area of the board. And I think once I get this area of the board taken care of, we will move on to the next step and a more challenging step. So let's see what we can do. You know. Wowzers. What a shaving. Did I come unset? Here. It feels better. Ah, yeah. How about one more? Because I've got a knot like right here, where my finger is, and those back and forth wood grains are really getting me. Whew. Oh man, jeepers creepers. So let's go ahead and feels good to the fingers. Let's see what the level says. Level's happy with it. Level's happy with it. You get to hang out over there. Whew. I gotta stick these things places. But yeah, that's what, 2 edges? Yeah, we got 2 edges done. Nice. Woo! Okay. Next we have the faces of these boards, but I've been drinking tea. I need to use the little homesteader's room, so I'm gonna throw the BRB and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And man, I gotta be real honest here. I drank too much alcohol yesterday. I didn't. Oh, because I was doing like okay-ish for a while, but man, after all that hand planning, my head is like actually starting to really hurt me. So, kind of debating on what I want to do moving forward. So, I mean, we've got the options. I do have the Makita option to use the electric hand plane to do the tops of these boards. That's an option. Well, I just don't have. Actually, don't really have a good enough of a workbench to really face plane these guys. But I do want to try that though at some point. Ooh boy. Also, these edges could definitely use some touching up. Like, they're okay, but they definitely use some touching up. So I don't know. Honestly, I just don't know how much I want to like keep going with the woodworking, simply because of my head hurts. Ugh. I definitely did too much drinking yesterday, and now now I'm paying for it. So I'm a little unsure what I want to do, because I mean I don't have anything like better to do for the rest of the day, other than eventually I do have to shovel snow. So, yeah, that's probably the right answer. Yeah, I'll probably just honestly. So, to kind of keep things reasonably themed, I'm honestly just going to call it with like this for today. So, sorry it's a bit of a shorter stream, but unfortunately I do not have the health and well-being to keep using my hand planes for longer. So, but yeah, thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in. And yeah, I will have a schedule posted sometime today. But yeah, once again, sorry it was kind of a shorter stream, but yeah, alcohol has done things to me, and I'm getting older by the day. So take it easy out there, stay safe, everyone, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Okay, bye bye.